What's good, folks? This is Hodgeboy Son here, and yo, it's imperative that I do a review of the film One Spoon of Chocolate by our brother RZA of Wu-Tang Clan, the OG veteran, with some co-producing support by Quentin Tarantino. And of course, I'm in my hometown of Oakland, California, Jack London Square. Just got out of Jack London Theater. So let me go ahead and get right to it. So of course, this film is starring Shameik Moore. Shout out to him, did a damn good job. Others, and it also featured Paris Jackson of the Jackson State family, daughter of Michael Jackson. Shout out to her. Nice job in this film. Others that I can't call the name right now. And it also featured our Oakland brother, Rockman Dunbar, who I've met before. Very nice, very good man, humble brother. Met him a few times. We've always chopped it up every time we cross paths, man. So, let me get right to it. So, it's an action film. Definitely has martial arts elements and themes. So it's about basically brother goes by the name of Unique, real name Randy. He's a veteran who actually manages to get out as a ex-con in the state of New York, has his relative ties in Ohio. Oh, and the film also features our brother Blair Underwood, did a damn good job. He's actually his PO, who actually allows him to be transferred with his family, who's staying down in a place called Karensville, Ohio. And we'll see why it's appropriately named that. So basically, he has a younger cousin who in the beginning of the movie, kicking it with some white teeth gals or whatever, and they left him stranded at a gas station at night. Got wrapped up by some crew of white extremists that are heavy-handed throughout that town. They, beat him to death or whatnot. Well, they beat him to a pulp, but the younger cousin was finished off by a corrupt coroner who helps the white tea officials harvest organs. So they got this thing going on. So our brother Unique, the character played by Shameik Moore, he goes down there to be with his family and whatnot. They have a run-in with this clique that's ran by two brothers, a younger brother and an older brother. They have a run-in with them in a community center. And of course, Unique and his cousin, they get the upper hand in that fight or whatever, but later on, that white tea extremist clique didn't want to take that L, so they go around the town, whatever, looking for them. And of course, they found them outside of the liquor store while they came in with Paris Jackson and her friend, who is the girlfriend of Unique's cousin, beat them up or whatnot, messed up the car, but they drive up out of there. And of course, that extremist clique, they're tied in with local law enforcement, as you can guess. And they end up finding them later on, wrapped up the Unique's cousin, some trumped up charges blaming him for hitting one of those extremist boys. So of course it led to him getting later released on bail, but there was another corrupt bail bondsman who set him up to get beat up to death by this extremist clique upon his release. So therefore, of course, they're not going to be satisfied till they get the character Brother Unique. But to wrap this up, man, he spent the time hiding, preparing himself to avenge his cousin. in an extended fight scene towards the end, where he basically sets himself up with effects to just take on this whole extremist clique by himself. So let me say this: the fighting styles represented in here are elements of kung fu, and to my eyes, some 52 blocks, which he did a phenomenal job utilizing. And what I could appreciate, of course, yeah, he represented definitely represented the culture. He goes to their hideout, takes them all on by himself, even to the point to where he gets to Jeff, who was the older brother of this extremist clique. They had their standoff, and Brother Unique manages to get the upper hand. And then they have, so that way, in their base, they have this like loudspeaker that people outside can hear when all the sheriffs, who the main sheriff is, those two brothers, their father, who's the head sheriff, go figure, the brothers that run the extremist clique. So he puts them on a loudspeaker that's in their hideout to basically tricks the older brother into confessing about him killing his cousin or whatnot. And it was they had a powerful moment to where, of course, just standing on foundational Black American, even though Shamik Moore is of Jamaican descent, you know, his character is foundational Black American, and he stood on like how we had the natural right to how our ancestors built this country. And of course, Jeff, the extremist brother, you know what I'm saying, the older one, wanted to deflect from that or whatnot, how extremists tend to do. But nonetheless, he stood on social, actual, legitimate spiritual soldier power, because remember, Brother Unique was a Army veteran. But it was just like interesting dialogue. I strongly recommend that we support this film. Definitely catch it as an independent film, so definitely catch it wherever you can. And yes, be looking for it whenever it is released on DVD. This is me signing off. From this time to the next time, and of course, there's more in store. Peace, salams, prosperity, be easy.